Starting our practice by interlacing the fingers behind you. Inhale, puff up your chest, and then exhale, send your fist into the right crook of your waist, drawing your right ear to your right shoulder. Inhale, breathing into the left side of the neck, and exhale, releasing tension. Inhale, send your fist behind you, open your heart, and then exhale, send your fist into the left crook of the waist, drawing the left ear to the left shoulder, and again sending the breath into the right side of the neck, breathing in and breathing out. Slowly from here we'll come onto our knees and come into a camel variation with the fist drawing you back, opening up the chest. Extending the arms out in front and sending the hips towards the heels, we'll take a child's pose. Take a big breath in through the nose and exhale, breathe out. Maybe coming onto the tips of the fingers to draw your spine a little longer, pressing the hips back, finding more length with every breath. On your next inhalation, slide yourself forwards onto your belly, coming into Sphinx pose, drawing the elbows underneath the shoulders and broadening across the front of the chest, the collarbones. If you like, you might wish to press into the hands and come into a high cobra, really arching the spine, maybe sending your gaze up, maybe over the left shoulder, over the right. In your own time, tuck your toes, send your hips back towards your heels and move through a child's pose, eventually coming into your first downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back, pedaling out through the hamstrings and taking any movements that feel good in your practice. Take your time. Eventually finding stillness, lifting up through the kneecaps, pressing the heels down, pulling lower belly in, Mula Bandha, and pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Spread the fingers wide and broaden across the shoulders. Take a moment here to arrive in your practice, in your body, finding your focus. And then shorten your down dog slightly and take your right hand to your left ankle, twisting out the body. Breathing in, breathing out. And then releasing the right hand down and swapping sides. Left hand to your right ankle, twisting the body and gazing underneath your right armpit. Inhale and exhale, come back to your downward facing dog. We're going to step the right foot outside of the right hand, the left foot outside of the left hand, and drop the hips down into Malasana, yogi squat. Taking any movements that feel good, maybe swaying from side to side, or taking your left hand down and reaching your right arm up. Right hand down, left arm up if you took that variation, opening up the chest. Very nice. From here, we'll send the hips high and come into our first ragdoll, just swaying from side to side, taking hold of each elbow. Little bend in the knees is fine, pouring the weight into the front of the feet. Maybe nodding the head, yes. And then gently releasing the fingertips and rolling up through the spine. Inhale, reach the arms wide and up, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Samastitihi. Take a moment here to gather your thoughts, to gather your breath. Perhaps playing around with shifting the weight into the fronts of the feet and towards the heels, just finding that center of balance. Maybe swaying from side to side. And then finding some stillness. Enjoy your practice. Inhale, reach the prayer high, gaze up, find length, and then exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe hands to shins or to the mat. Exhale, step the right foot back, followed by the left, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale onto your belly, low cobra, or maybe high cobra if you feel ready. Exhale, tuck the toes, send it back, downward facing dog. Breathing here for 3. Breathing out for 3. Inhaling 2. Exhaling 2. One more deep breath. And at the bottom of your exhale, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, prayer to sky, reach all the way up. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, extending. And exhale, forward folding. Inhale, halfway lift, look forwards. Exhale, step the left foot back, drop the back knee. Inhale, low lunge, open your chest. And exhale, frame the front foot, step it lightly back to your high plank and lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slithering forwards onto your belly, high cobra. And then exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Gazing between the feet. And then slowly on your next exhale, step or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, prayer to sky, gaze all the way up. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reaching, extending. And exhale, forward folding. Inhale, lift and lengthen, pull lower belly in. Step the right foot back, drop the back knee. Inhale, open your chest, low lunge, Anjanasana. Framing the front foot, stepping it back, lowering knees, chest and chin as you exhale. Inhale, low cobra, maybe high cobra, pushing into the hands. And then exhale, send it up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing and pausing in your practice. Remembering that child's pose is always an option, but down dog is essentially a resting pose. So down dog or child's pose, whichever suits you today. Slowly step or float, travel to the top of the mat, and then exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, bend through the knees, Utkatasana, chair pose, reaching the arms up, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the inner thighs. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back and travel through your first full vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reaching the right leg to the sky. Exhale, draw the knee in and slightly step between the hands. Inhale, high lunge, ball of the back foot, opening your chest. And exhale, frame the front foot, high to low plank. Take your vinyasa. Inhaling and exhaling, pushing back. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, step between your hands. Inhale, reach the arms up, high on the ball of the back foot. And then exhale, frame your front foot, flow through your vinyasa. Breathing in, breathing out. Taking a little pause in your practice, a pause in your down dog to find your breath, find your focus. Slowly gazing forwards, bending your knees, slightly stepping or floating. Inhale, halfway, and exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, bend through the knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, and we'll take a twist towards the right hand side, hooking the left elbow and turning your chest towards the right hand side. Maybe you can send the gaze up, keep pulling that left knee back in line with the right. And then slowly take your gaze down towards the right foot and step your left leg back, coming into a twisted high lunge. With every inhale, find length. With every exhale, rotate. In your own time, we're going to cartwheel open the arms and come into a warrior two. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Front heel is in line with the back arch of the foot. Gazing forwards, middle finger. And then exhale, take your right forearm to your right thigh and come into extended side angle. So your variation, sweeping the left arm up and over, or perhaps taking the bind, reaching around and taking hold of the top wrist with your bottom hand. Wherever you are, I want you to draw that top shoulder back. And then exhale, frame the front foot, drop the back knee. Inhale, come back into that low lunge, but this time with a Kali Mudra, extending first finger and thumb and really opening your chest, sinking into the hips. Nice generous bend in the front knee, perhaps even tracking over the ankle this time. Lovely. We're going to find our half splits, drawing the hips back, drawing the right hip back in line with the left and flexing the right toes towards us. You might wish to take your hands on blocks, up to you. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Slowly from here, coming into our standing splits, lifting the left leg up towards the sky, pointing the toes and drawing your chest in towards that standing leg. Option here to place your hands slightly in front and hop it back into bent elbows, chaturanga, flowing through your vinyasa. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Slowly stepping or floating. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend through the knees, Utkatasana, chair pose, and let's take that same sequence on the other side. So hands to heart center, twisting towards the left hand side, pulling the right knee back in line with the left, turning the chest, and then sending the weight into the left foot as you slowly start to peel the right foot off the mat and send it back into that twisted high lunge. Keep turning the chest. Keep lengthening and rotating through the torso. On your next exhale, open out Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, extending and expanding. On your next exhale, we'll come into our extended side angle, left forearm to the left thigh, maybe to the mat, reaching your right arm overhead, or perhaps taking the bind, reaching around for that top wrist with your bottom hand. Wherever you are, drawing that top shoulder back, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, we'll frame the front foot, drop the back knee, and inhale, find that Kali Mudra, extending first finger and thumb. Really sinking into the hips as you exhale and opening the chest. In your own time, find your Ardha Hanuman, your half splits, flexing the left foot back. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Going to slowly travel to the front of the mat, sending the weight into the left foot and picking up that right foot as high as you can towards the sky, coming into our standing splits. Maybe using the left hand to pull us in a bit deeper, or even take a little handstand hop, eventually finding your vinyasa, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take one more breath in your down dog. And then slowly lower your knees down underneath your hips and walk your arms forwards, coming into Anahatasana. So you might take your forehead to the mat, or maybe stretch your chin and your chest down if you're a little bit more flexible. Wherever you are, soften your belly and really surrender into the heart space. Allow your chest to open. Walking the hands back in, and we're going to find our dolphin pose. So coming onto the forearms and walking your feet in, maybe taking little taps, taking your nose to your fingertips, or lifting one leg and the other. So it's really up to you. Maybe you have pincher in your practice and you want to have a little play. Stag legs can be a nice way to experiment with your pincher. And then eventually you want to draw the inner thighs towards one another, draw it up towards the sky, point your feet or flex them, making sure your legs are active. And then eventually finding your child's pose again, just taking some rest, rolling out the forehead from side to side. We'll come back onto our belly, coming back into our Sphinx pose, elbows underneath shoulders. And then inhale, come back into your high cobra. So we've done a lot of heart openers, so a lot of back bending. So maybe you want to start to bend your legs, reaching your toes towards your head, taking a nice deep back bend. And then we'll cactus open our arms and take broken wing pose. So we'll take the left leg behind us as we open up our right shoulder. You might extend that right arm long, or you can cactus it how I'm doing for a slightly deeper variation. But you should feel it in the right side of the chest, a nice opening across the right pectoral. In your own time, come back onto your belly. Interlace the fingers behind you, activate your back line, squeeze your glutes, lift your chest. On your next inhale, we're going to pick up the legs and come into our full Shalavasana, engaging the whole of the back line, squeezing everything up, and then exhale, gently release. We'll take it onto the left hand side, so cactusing or extending that left arm, and then turning so that the right leg comes behind. Maybe you come onto the right fingertips to deepen this pose, so experiment with the shapes in your practice, but you want to find that nice opening down the left hand side of the chest, opening the left pectoral, focusing on the feeling rather than what it looks like. And then eventually coming all the way back out. Another back bend today, so reaching for the inside of your feet. Inhale, bow pose, Dhanurasana, kicking the feet into the hands into the feet, perhaps rocking forwards and backwards. Try to imagine that you're squeezing a block between your thighs. And then gently release, and we'll send it all the way back into a downward facing dog. Extending your spine, perhaps taking child's pose if you need, or another vinyasa. Whatever serves you today, listen to your body. Slowly we're going to cross the ankles, jump through, and we'll land in our boat pose, Navasana. So you can take hold of the backs of the thighs or reach the arms either side of your legs. Exhale, find your low boat. Hovering the feet, inhale, high boat. Open the chest and exhale to low boat. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower back to the mat. And then eventually coming all the way down onto your back, squeeze your knees in, roll your lower back from side to side, releasing any tension. Final few back bends, we're going to come into our bridge pose, interlacing the fingers underneath and pushing our hips up. Imagine that we're squeezing a block between our inner thighs. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs. Breathe in and breathe out. Gently come all the way down, windscreen wiper the knees from side to side, taking one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Take a moment here with your feet mat distance, allowing your knees to knock in, and then you're more than welcome to come into another bridge pose, or if you're ready, come into your full wheel, your Urdhva Dhanurasana. Bridge pose, you can interlace your fingers underneath again, or if you're coming into your full wheel, fingertips come to the shoulders, you come to the crown of the head, and then eventually you push your chest back, perhaps walking your hands in and your feet back. You might even wish to experiment with variations here, maybe lifting one leg and the other. Go to a place that feels good in your body. So if you're not naturally back bendy, Don't push yourself too much, especially when you're at home without any assistance. Quite nice to straighten the legs even. So lots of different variations in our full wheel pose. And then in your own time, come back to your back, maybe rolling out the hips, moving the knees, lubricating the hip joints. Shift your hips towards the right and take your knees all the way over towards the left, perhaps wrapping the top leg around the bottom leg, coming into twisted roots, cactusing open the arms, gazing over the opposite shoulder and starting to let go of any sense of breath control. So just breathing fully, naturally, and then taking your twist on the other side. So shifting the hips to the left, taking your knees over towards the right. Option for twisted roots if you did on the other side, double wrapping the top leg around the bottom leg and gazing over the opposite shoulder. Slowly unraveling the legs, squeeze your knees in, lift your forehead to your knees, inhale, 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 hold the breath. And exhale, let it go. Come into your final posture, your most important posture, your Shavasana, taking the feet to each corner of the mat, palms face up towards the sky, breathing in, breathing out, letting it go out the mouth. Taking a few moments here in rest, releasing every muscle in the body. Every cell in your being is relaxed. Starting to wiggle fingers and toes, shifting yourself onto the right hand side, coming into a fetal position, taking your hands underneath your head, and then eventually pushing yourself up to a comfortable cross-legged position, Sukhasana, bringing your hands to your heart center. If you enjoyed that practice, please comment below. I would love to hear from you. And why not try one of my other yoga flows sometime very soon? Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for joining me.